Welcome back to another Disney Pixar Connection Easter egg video. We are on a roll with the hidden holidays, but as we know, Hawkeye is in full swing. It came out yesterday. Okay, I did do my Easter eggs yesterday. I just didn't have time to film, so I'm filming now, and it's going to be out in just a few minutes as soon as I finish editing. Anywho, let's talk about this episode for a minute. I don't want to give anything away. I will be honest. That's why I kind of waited also a little bit, because I'm like, gives people a little bit of a chance to catch up. Now, my parents do watch it. They have not caught up. And I'm like dying here. Hello, catch up so we can have a chat about this. They also apparently never watched Black Widow, which problematic. Gotta call them out for that. But that being said, this is the episode we have been waiting for. Okay, waiting for. 3.75 episodes until this very moment. I need more. This definitely pulled us in at the very end. So if you really wanted that connection with the Black Widow and the Hawkeye, this is it. This is the episode. Okay, this is it. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about from the end of Black Widow. If you haven't watched Black Widow already, go watch it and watch the after credits. That is major important. Okay. That being said, the Easter eggs to this in this episode very much revolve around events that happened in the past, right? Very much of Hawkeye's past. And this is important on so many levels. But let's just go through it because I have a lot more to say. Okay, Hawkeye episode 4. Now in this first clip that you're going to see, you'll notice Kate Bishop is trying to be nice. She's trying to have a, Christmas movie night because Hawkeye is missing his family's movie night. And you'll notice there's a particular Christmas movie, Santa Claus, that is a Disney one. Hey, link there. I know. I was so proud of catching that. Anyway, they go on. They're having conversations. They're having fun. He's training her a little bit. But this is when he explains everything about his past and who Ronan is. This is key, this information. She leaves. He then starts to begin to have flashbacks about the time during the Infinity War and Endgame when he lost Natasha, he lost his family during the snap. It was a whole big thing. Now, if you notice, this street is actually 4th Street and Avenue B in East Village. There's a menorah behind Kate Bishop. Very few times does Disney, Marvel, Star Wars actually have menorahs and Hanukkah references, so that's pretty cool. Then we have shots of Central Park. This is the Great Lawn, and you can see the LARPers again. Another shot of the East Village. I used to walk those streets every day. And then this little Easter egg was to the watch that was taken during episode 1. And this is what Hawkeye's trying to get back. We also have a nice little skyline of New York City. But when Kate Bishop was in the apartment, she came across the list of Hawkeye's family. This is key because they already knew that something was going to happen, but they didn't realize how bad it's going to be. And then, of course, they figure out it's Maya's apartment. The whole big fight happens, and then the big reveal. Okay, so there's a lot to this, and I need to talk about it. This episode revealed so much within the conversation. There was a lot of action, but it was less action-packed, in my opinion, than the others. But that doesn't mean it didn't reveal a lot, right? We already had Katie Bishop. We already have her mom and her stepdad, her future stepdad, the fiance, whatever his name is. We have Hawkeye, we have Maya Lopez, and we have Maya Lopez's posse and cousin. Okay. Now, I mentioned in the beginning of this video that there was a character that we've been waiting on to show up within this show. She came. There'll be more on her next week. I'm sure of it. We'll discuss that. If you haven't watched Black Widow, my God, please go watch it. Please, you will understand who I'm talking about. Just a little glimpse. The blonde, I repeat, the blonde is Natasha Romanoff's sister. Okay, that being said, let's get that over with. Why she is there, you will understand from Black Widow, the very end. But in the meantime, the flashbacks that we talked about in the Easter eggs were flashbacks to when the whole the Infinity War Endgame situation, Thanos' snap, happened, right? There were a lot of events that happened, but Hawkeye created Ronin, the alias, to do what he did. When Natasha got him back to solve the Endgame situation with the other Avengers, he was being Ronin. That was him. That was that scene. And he did it because he was trained to take out the bad guys. Now, he was a vigilante in that moment, but understand, he explained that his entire life he was trained to do what he did. So was Natasha. We got that explanation in Black Widow. And so was Winter Soldier when Falcon and Winter Soldier came out. I will go over those Easter eggs at another time, but I'm just explaining that they're not the only ones that have had this happen to, right? So the reason that Maya Lopez wants to know who Ronin is, and she figures it out that it was Hawkeye, was because Ronin killed her father. That scene where she was a young girl and he called her Little Dragon, Ronin was the one in the suit because he was a bad guy, right? And Hawkeye just wants this over. The only reason Hawkeye is dealing with Kate Bishop in this whole situation is because he doesn't want this coming back on his family so that they're in harm's way. The whole reason he created Ronin was because they had disappeared during the snap. So we're in a circle here, right? And, I feel bad for Hawkeye because he had to deal with so much, and he really did lose his best friend. But nobody fully understood the dynamic between him and Natasha, besides him and Natasha, right? And while they could have definitely been shipped together, we understand that Hawkeye had been married, he had 3 kids, yada, so forth, right? But he had a deep love for Natasha as if that was his sister. I'm going to say sister, I don't know, but I'm going to assume it was more like a sister-brother dynamic than, maybe best friends they were, but than anything else. Natasha, the way that I feel from the other films was she was actually in love with Hulk. But I think that the other people in Natasha's life before she passed didn't know the full dynamics on everything, right? They missed out on a lot of her life. She didn't let them in. And so they assumed because Hawkeye had previously been told to kill her, he mentions that's what happened in the first place. Like, he regretted the decision and he finally did it. When that wasn't the case. He actually helped her and they became really good friends. So yeah, there was just a lot of info dump on this episode. There was a lot of background information that really brought the dynamic up. And what I found interesting was that Hawkeye already knew that they were going to come after his family, right? That's why he was putting in the measurements ahead of time to make sure that they didn't. But Maya Lopez was already on top of it. And so it's quite interesting, this new ending, right? And so I'm super excited because we've been waiting since July for this information. We've been waiting since July for this episode, for this quick scene, and we need more. So yeah, that's I know it's a lot to take in. It's a lot of background information, and if you haven't caught up on the Marvel movies, you might want to go do so to understand this dynamic. But I'm quite curious to see how, not only how Hawkeye explains to Katie who she is, the blonde, but how her relationship to Maya and how she found Hawkeye and what's going to happen in the future. And I would love, it's not going to happen. We know they're fighters, they're killers, so yada, yada, yada. It would have been great in some aspect for her to eventually join. We don't know, but hopefully that she will join the Avengers. Because I think she would make a good Avenger. I think that she has a lot of trauma surrounding her sister, and she needs the information to heal. Will she believe him or her or all the others? I don't know. It's to be determined. All right, that's all I got for you guys today, and I hope you have a fantastic day.